Let's begin with the Trump phone because it is the perfect metaphor for Trump and his cult of people. He's ripped them off yet again. And I want to thank Ryan for Love of the Road for sending this to me. This is something I'd not even seen. And it's been going on for quite some time. He sold a bunch of this stuff last year and said, yeah, sometime late summer we'll have it for you. Then that became September. Then it became November. Then it became December. And then the key is that he made this in April. What they did is they went back to the website and they revised the terms. They said, well, if you put down that $100 deposit for this $500 phone, that is not a purchase. And we are not obligated to supply you with a phone. It kind of sounds like what Trump does to the Constitution, doesn't it? And his campaign promises. And everything else he does is a lie. Anyway, from steaks and sneakers to social media platforms and crypto schemes, because he fleeced them big time with his crypto coins, didn't he? The Trump branded venture offers a far more familiar pattern. Huge promises, flashy marketing, angry customers left wondering where their money went, especially with the crypto grift. A lot of them never caught on really to the Save America nonsense that he was doing along with Alex Jones, Stop the Steal. He had Roger Stone saying, it's going to be like falling off of a log to make money off of this. And he said that on camera. He said that in front of the people that were doing the documentary about him. And that's the way that he and InfoWars and Alex Jones and Donald Trump all ran that post-election grift. At least with this Trump phone, he's not setting people up to get arrested and have their lives ruined. Nearly 600,000 Trump supporters reportedly paid $100 deposits. What does that add up to? $60 million. Turning the Trump mobile smartphones, they are gold colored. And after nearly a year, still not any have shipped. So from fake colleges, condos, and everything he slaps his name on is a scam, said one person. The so-called T1 phone was unveiled in June of 2025 by Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. Again, these scammers extraordinary, right? These guys, Hunter Biden doesn't have anything on these guys. They are more sober than he is, and they're more dangerous than he is. And these are the guys that have been going around to all these Gulf state multi-billionaires and kingdoms and all this kind of stuff, getting them to buy in on their stablecoin stuff. Stay away from Trump, crypto, and stablecoins personally. But they pitched it as, of course, a patriotic alternative. Why? Because Trump is the country, right? So if you follow Trump and you worship Trump, you're worshiping the state and the country, right? So it's patriotic idolatry. Anyway, so he said it was going to be an alternative to Apple and Samsung, except that the phones that they showed were Apple and Samsung models. They don't make those phones in the U.S., but they had on the back of the phones, made in the USA. Did Eric and Donald ever look to see where they would get the phone made? No. Now, why wouldn't you do that, right? That right there, I think, is a big tell that it was a fraud from the very beginning. If you were seriously going to set up some phones, I mean, one of the first things you would do if you're going to price it is where can we get this made and how much is it going to cost us to have it made so we can make a profit? But if you're going to just go out there and put up some meme pictures and manufacture some AI products and sell the image to people with no intention of delivering it, which I think is probably what Don Jr. and Eric intended to do, then you don't really have to worry about this. You can tell people it's going to replace the Apple phone and Samsung phones, and you can use pictures of Apple and Samsung phones to do it. And you can tell people it's going to be made in the USA. Nobody makes any phones in the USA. That's just another Trump fantasy. Anyway, it was gold, of course, stamped with an American flag, sold with a $500 price tag, and a monthly wireless plan costing about $47 a month. Customers are still waiting anxiously for this. Just like Americans are still anxiously waiting for peace, anxiously waiting for Trump to stop taxing us with tariffs, to stop his unconstitutional wars that are costing us a fortune. As a matter of fact, what do you think this war is costing you? We're going to talk about that. You know, the people who are going through and doing a realistic estimate of this, of course, the Trump administration is saying $25 billion. That'd be bad enough if that were true. But the people are actually going through and doing a real cost analysis. We're talking about an amount that if you divide it out by 130 million households, works out to about $1,000 per household. That's not including all the inflation that he's building into the economy. It's not including the inflation, not just of fuel, but of everything that he's putting into the economy. But yeah, just for all the bombs and that kind of nonsense to kill and destroy, $1,000 for your household. Are you getting your money's worth? Are you entertained by all this stuff? How does this help us at all? We're the ones who chose to do that. I should say Trump is the one who chose to do this. There was nothing urgent about this. There was no threat to us. Certainly not imminent, but he skipped all of the constitutional legal requirements to do all this stuff. And he is ripping us off and making us poor and making us less secure. And that's not even talking about the Pete Pentagon budget of $1.5 trillion, as I pointed out the other day. That works out to $11,100 per household. Okay, so $1,000 for the Iran war, another $11,000 for his bloated Pentagon. Yeah, we don't need to have anything here in America. We just become the arsenal of the world and no longer the arsenal of democracy, but just the arsenal of an empire, an aggressive criminal empire, conquering and murdering people for property, conquering and murdering people for Israel's Greater Israel Project. So getting back to the phone, which is a good example of all this stuff, people are still waiting. It's not Trump's fault, said one person. There's so many stupid people in the cult who have never questioned the gaslighting. So cry me a river. So this is the difference between the Obama phone and the Trump phone. Obama phone, I'm going to give everybody a free phone, right? And we had the Obama phone lady came to InfoWars. But anyway, that was something that Obama was just handing these things out for free. And so the Republicans gave it the term Obama phone in derision. He ripped off the U.S. taxpayer for the Obama phone. For Trump, he is ripping off the cult. So if only it was that way for everything that Trump did. Unfortunately, we are unequally yoked with this MAGA cult that is out there. They get to vote. That's the dangerous thing about this. The original delivery promise of late summer 2025 became November, then December, then sometime the first quarter of 2026. When that passed in April, they changed and revised the terms. Updated terms published in April state that paying the $100 deposit, quote, does not constitute a completed purchase. Does not create any binding obligation for Trump Mobile to actually deliver a phone. Do they have any requirement to give that money back if they don't? Well, evidently not. Isn't that interesting? You know, you can change the terms of your agreement. You can take money, you can make an offer, and you can take money, and you can let this thing run on for, 7, 8, 9 months, whatever it's been. And then you can come back and say, well, never mind, I don't have to give you anything for that. And revised conditions of your contract. That's how it work out. Wouldn't you think that the Federal Trade Commission or the FCC or the Department of Justice would be interested in that? Well, no, because they're all under Trump, right? Of course, they're not interested in that. So people have asked if they could get a refund, and they have been told, no, they can't. And so there is no binding obligation for the Trump crime family, and that's what it is organized crime. They're peddling influence, they're taking bribes, and they're destroying their own fan club here.
There comes a point where you just have to look at someone and go, how are you still getting fooled?
Yeah, that's right. That's so one person said, so cry me a river, right? The revised language also says buyers waive the right to pursue claims beyond the original deposit amount if the project collapses. Don't you just love these revised rules that have become the staple for all of the things that you do online, right? They're constantly changing it. Yeah, we got a contract with you. And we just unilaterally changed it retroactively. How about that? So they quietly updated the terms. No guarantee that a phone will be produced or sold, and you have no right to pursue claims.
I have altered the deal. Pray I do not alter it further.
That's right. But I think this is interesting because this is a metaphor for the entire Trump crime family. And again, it's just the cult fans that are being ripped off, but we get ripped off when they keep voting and following this guy as well. So everything Trump does rips off Americans. And he does it with his revisions to the Constitution. He does it with his constantly changing lies.
It's also funny that the people that still support him, when you bring up stuff like this, they never actually address the problem. They don't talk about why they're okay with the scam. They simply say, well, you're just crazy. You've just got Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, Trump derangement syndrome.
Contend with the issue. If you think it's worth it, if you think it's fine to allow him to do this because we're getting some benefit out of it, explain it.
Yeah. Trump actually said at a sit-down meeting where he was talking to people and had people around signing stuff, he started talking about health issues, and he said, Trump delusion syndrome, that's actually a real thing, and we need to treat that as a psychological... No, you need to treat your followers as a psychological cult. They have Trump delusion syndrome. The Made in USA branding reportedly disappeared almost immediately after launch. People started calling him on it and said, okay, so you're going to make this in America? Where are phones made in America? They changed it to, quote, American Proud design, brought to life right here in the USA in early 2026. So it's brought to life. It's not actually manufactured. See how he plays those semantic games? So Trumpian, isn't it? The executives reportedly acknowledged that the phones will not actually be made domestically. It's like the guy, what was his name? George... what was the guy in Long Island, the grifter, the...
Santos?
Yeah, George Santos. Well, I'm not Jewish, I'm Jewish. So these are not manufactured in the U.S. They are manufacture-ish kind of in the U.S., right? So they said only limited assembly would happen in Miami, while most production occurred overseas. I think even that is a lie. Trump wants to pretend that he's going to make America make things again, right? We're going to call that mama. Yo, mama, you're going to make America make things again. We're going to make America make again. That's not going to happen, especially because he is, with his tariffs, he is adding surcharges to all the components that we still have to get from other countries that we don't make here. So investigative journalist Joseph Cox attempted to place an order himself. He described the experience as the worst he has ever encountered buying a consumer electronics product. After reporting incorrect charges, missing shipping requests, and recurring payment complaints from other customers, he said, and then, of course, a tech publication, Android Authority, also tried to get one. They openly admitted they expect never to get an iPhone and never to see their $100 deposit again. So this is the way that you run a business if you're the Trump crime family. That's the way you run a half dozen casinos into the ground. So several Democrat lawmakers reportedly asked the Federal Trade Commission to investigate whether Trump Mobile used deceptive bait and switch tactics and whether the company's original American manufacturing claims violated consumer protection laws. False claims. As of May 2026, there is still no confirmed ship date. There's no verified customer deliveries. There's no public indication that the gold Trump phone actually exists outside of promotional material and mock-up images. And folks, you can extrapolate this to Trump's Golden Dome, the massive boondoggle that he's putting together in the Pentagon. All this stuff is just fraud on top of fraud. The common man. They created Common Core to dumb down our children. They created Common Pass to track and control us. Their Commons Project to make sure the commoners own nothing. And the communist future. They see the common man as simple, unsophisticated, ordinary. But each of us has worth and dignity created in the image of God. That is what we have in common. That is what they want to take away. Their most powerful weapons are isolation, deception, intimidation. They desire to know everything about us while they hide everything from us. It's time to turn that around and expose what they want to hide. Please share the information and links you'll find at thedavidknightshow.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. If you can't support us financially, please keep us in your prayers. thedavidknightshow.com.